It took a lot to wake me up, and if you woke me up, I was really grouchy. And it was about 2:30 in the morning, and something woke me up, and I woke up, and I'm thinking, like, what is going on? There was, like, voices, and there was a light, and I'm thinking, first of all, I'm thinking, like, when did the Santa Barbara Police or Sheriff Department get a helicopter? And then I went, like, no, that can't be it, because there's only one window in this bedroom. It's over there, and it's dark, and the light is, like, behind me. So I'm thinking, like, what is going on? And I turned around, and there was this glowing light, and in the middle of it was this man's head and face. And he just kept saying, I am the way. I am the way. And I just looked at him, and all I could say was, like, yes, I know. Yes, Jesus, I know. And people ask me, how do I know I was in the presence of Jesus? And I can't scientifically, logically say, except when you're in the presence of God, you just know. There's just something inside of you that connects. And you know, that people talk about at the end of your life, you have this flashback of all these things that happened. Well, that happened to me. And he's showing me all these things that I'm not going to tell you about. I've never even told Janine. Well, maybe one or two of them. And he's showing me these things, and I'm going, like, you know that, and you know that, and you know about this, and you know about that. And I'm thinking, like, okay, you know all my warts, all my faults, all my sins, all my mistakes, and you still want to talk to me? Wait a second, what is this? You still want to talk to me? Cool. And I don't remember all the things, but then I remember he showed me my heart. He showed me, and I thought, like, okay, I'm a decent guy. I'm okay, you know. Maybe that's why he wants to talk to me. And then he showed me his heart, and it was like this outpouring of love that started like a wave, but then turned into this river. And I just felt bathed in love, and for the first time in my life, acceptance and security and just comfort. And it was just the most amazing, incredible thing. And I remember just going, pointing it to Jesus and going, like, that, I want that heart here. I want that here. Just a small amount, just a crumb. I mean, a crumb from a loaf of bread, just a small amount. I'd be the happiest, luckiest man in the world. And make a long story short, I don't remember too much of the rest of the night, but it was like that Monday going back to work was the first time I really wanted to look forward to going back to work. And I went to a friend about 10 o'clock in the morning, popped into her office, and she had some plaques on the wall or something. I said, can I ask you a couple questions, Judy? And she goes, like, yeah. I said, are you a Christian? She says, yeah. I said, okay, cool. Question number 2, you doing anything for lunch? She says, no. I said, can we talk? She says, you want to talk now? I said, no, we'll wait till lunch. So we sit down and I go, like, how do you become a Christian? She starts telling me about Jesus. I go, like, I think I got that part, but what's this gospel thing? You know, I have no idea what the gospel is. I have no idea what the New Testament. I go, like, how many commandments do you guys got? And she goes, what? I said, we got 10, you know, like the biggies, and then we got like 650 more little ones. I go, how many you got? She goes, like 2. I go, 2? I go, like, this is going to be a piece of cake. And, you know, she's going, like, okay, this guy's insane. And, you know, so she invites me over to a Bible study that her husband and her led at their house. And I'm asking about how to become a Christian, and we do the prayer and accepted Jesus in my heart. And then they're talking about getting baptized. And I go, like, well, shouldn't I read the Bible? I mean, you know, I don't know what's in the New Testament, but I'm expecting it's kind of like the Old Testament. You know, God's giving us something how we live our life. And they go, like, oh, yeah, it'd be a good thing to read the Bible. I go, like, okay, where do I get one? They go, like, bookstore. I go, like, okay, special bookstore? Okay. Go down there, and I walk in, and the lady goes, I go, like, I want to get a Bible. And she goes, like, which translation? And I'm thinking, well, we've got Hebrew and English, so I guess they have Latin and I'll take an English one, please. And she says, well, what's translation? I go, like, you mean there's more than one English one? And she goes through all this stuff, and I go, like, well, when was the first one? So I come home, and I sat down, and I started reading Matthew chapter 1, verse 1, and I had a King James Bible, and about the middle of January, I remember calling up Judy's husband and saying, hey, I'm starting the book of Revelations tonight, so let's schedule my baptism. And it really changed my life. I think the biggest obstacle I still have are Christians. I don't know what it is, but I think it's kind of funny, tragic, and all combined. You know, I have an older sister, which I'm not close to, but I'm thinking if you have an older brother, and that brother makes a lot of mistakes, now it might be cool not to make the same mistakes, but it's really kind of stupid to take the same mistakes your older brother did and do them like 10 times bigger. And that's what I see the church doing. Jesus said don't add anything. Paul says don't add anything, but it seems like every pastor, for the most part, wants to add stuff, and every church denomination wants to add things. And as a kid, I used to say that if you looked in the Bible under Pharisee, you see a picture of my Aunt Elner. But then when I became a Christian, I said, you could pick almost any pastor. Their picture would be in there. So I still struggle a little bit with that, and that's why I've had a challenge going to different churches. And after a while, I just have a real problem with legalism and adding extra things and complicated, what Pastor Mike would call micromanaging people's lives. And how do I find Hillside? After I met Janine, we got married. It was like part of also a change in my life. I mean, I had to wait 54 years to find my soulmate, the love of my life, the person who's perfect for me. And we have this I have 3 incredible stepsons. And I think about my stepfather, Walt. That was what his prized possession. And I try to model myself after a lot of things that he did, try to be a good stepfather. But I think the thing that I really have the most fun and privilege, but also responsibility, is being a granddad, Papa, to Sammy. And I think about my responsibility to her. And Janine and I were talking one day about how do we share with her? How do we show her Jesus? How do we show her God, show her love, without shoving it down her throat? And what do we do about Matt and Miranda, because they weren't going to church at the time, and do we invite her to Sunday school? And how do we, I was asking Janine, how do we do this with being respectful to them and stuff? And I remember praying, and I said to God, I said, Jesus, I go like, I definitely can't wait 54 years like I had to wait for Janine, and not even 3,700 days like with Jesus. So can we kind of put this one on the fast track? But I need some help. I need some answers. And the cool thing is Janine has been able to get her schedule changed at the hospital so she can get almost every Friday off for the last 3 years. And I've worked my schedule pretty much, so I have it off too to babysit with Sammy. And this one Friday we took her home like we always do. And there was this little flyer in the kitchen, and I'm looking at it, and I'm chuckling, and I'm laughing, and I'm going like, finally some Christians have a sense of humor. And to me, Jesus has a great sense of humor. I mean, just look at the story of the prodigal son. I just think it's the funniest thing there. I mean, he's poking fun at people left and right, and there's a whole bunch of inside jokes. Sorry, guys. You have to be Jewish to understand it. So I'm thinking, like, this flyer is, like, really cool, and we're talking a little about it. Then Matt comes home, and he's thinking this is really great, and we're talking about it, but he says, unfortunately, we can't go. And I'm like, well, we'll go check it out. And we went, and we're saying, you guys should go check it out. It's kind of cool. And I'm kind of hoping that they're going to go. And to me, it's just incredible that my wife and my stepson and his wife and my granddaughter all enjoy the church. I would go even if they didn't. I tell Janine, come with me or stay home if you want to. What I like, it's the first place as a Christian I've been where I feel that lack of judgment, that peace, that acceptance, that love. I haven't experienced it since Thanksgiving of '83 when I was closer, with Jesus. And I felt like Mike and Kim and Brandon, they got it figured out. And it's cool. I don't care. I know the church will grow. I don't care if it grows or it doesn't. I want to hang with these guys. I'm just grateful my family feels that same way, because it's just, that's the way Christianity is supposed to be. It's about love, and it's about respecting people and meeting people. And it's about helping them find God, not about running their life and giving them all these extra rules and stuff. So I'm just really grateful, and I'm just really grateful. That's the word I want to say. And it's just like, I just really love Hillside. I love the people. I love what's going on there. And I hope everybody listening to this can get some encouragement. I was a cynic. I was a doubting person. I probably was the hardest one. That's why God had to send His own Son. Jesus, I probably wouldn't have listened to. I wasn't listening to anybody else because of previous things, and I don't know what else to say.